The world stopped spinning for a moment on September 18, 1970. News spread like wildfire. Jimi Hendrix, the man who made the guitar sing, was gone. He was just 27. Hendrix's death was as sudden as it was tragic, leaving behind a void in the music world and a cloud of mystery that lingers to this day. How could someone so full of life, so innovative, be gone so soon? The official cause of death? Asphyxiation ruled an accident. Hendrix, they say, choked on his own vomit after a night of partying. But, some things just don't add up. Whispers and theories persist, each attempting to shed light on the darkness surrounding that fateful night in London. Was it truly a tragic accident, or did something more sinister lead to the demise of a legend? Jimi Hendrix, born Johnny Allen Hendrix in Seattle, Washington, always had music in his soul. Even as a young boy, he was drawn to sound. He'd mimic guitar playing on a broom, his yearning for music evident even then. Life wasn't always easy. He faced challenges, but his passion for music never wavered. A pivotal moment came when his father, noticing his son's deep interest, bought him his first guitar. It was a right-handed instrument, but Hendrix, a lefty, didn't let that stop him. He simply flipped it over and taught himself to play. This unorthodox approach would become a hallmark of his unique style. His talent was raw, untamed. He poured his heart into every note, drawing inspiration from blues legends like B.B. King and Muddy Waters. Little did he know, he was destined to become a legend himself. Hendrix's journey to stardom wasn't a straight shot to the top. Long before the world knew his name, he was just another young musician with a dream, facing the harsh realities of the music industry. The road was anything but easy, filled with setbacks, rejections, and nights spent playing in tiny clubs for little more than pocket change. He paid his dues, honing his skills in relative obscurity. Hendrix spent countless hours practicing, experimenting with new sounds, and pushing the boundaries of what the electric guitar could do. He was relentless, driven by a passion that set him apart from his peers, even if few noticed at first. He played backup for acts like Little Richard and the Isley Brothers, his talent simmering beneath the surface. These gigs were more than just jobs. They were his training ground, where he learned the art of showmanship and the power of performance. Each night on stage, he absorbed the energy of the crowd and the wisdom of seasoned musicians. Then came 1966. Hendrix, now going by his stage name, formed the Jimi Hendrix Experience in London. The city was a melting pot of musical innovation, and Hendrix was ready to make his mark. With bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell by his side, he finally had the creative freedom to unleash his vision. The world had never seen anything like it. Their music was electrifying, a fusion of blues, rock, and psychedelic sounds. Audiences were mesmerized by the raw energy and innovation pouring from the stage. Each performance felt like a revolution, breaking the mold of what rock music could be. Hendrix's performances were legendary. He'd play the guitar behind his back, with his teeth, even set it on fire, all while coaxing sounds from the instrument that seemed impossible. His stage presence was magnetic, and his technical mastery left audiences in awe, inspiring countless musicians to follow in his footsteps. Hits like Purple Haze, Hey Joe, and Foxy Lady took the world by storm. These songs became anthems for a generation, blasting from radios and record players everywhere and cementing Hendrix's place in music history. Hendrix wasn't just playing music, he was creating a new sonic landscape. He experimented with effects pedals, studio techniques, and feedback, constantly searching for new ways to express himself. His creativity knew no bounds, and he inspired others to break free from convention. He became a sensation, a guitar god for a generation yearning for something fresh, something real. Hendrix's influence spread like wildfire, and his legacy continues to shape the world of music to this day. Jimi Hendrix's impact on music is, honestly, just immeasurable. He wasn't just another talented guitarist. He was a force of nature, a visionary who saw the electric guitar as a blank canvas for sonic exploration. When Hendrix stepped onto the stage, he didn't just play, he transformed every performance into an electrifying experience, leaving audiences in awe and forever changing the way people thought about music. He didn't just play the guitar, he pushed it to its absolute limits, exploring sounds and techniques that were totally unheard of at the time. Hendrix was a pioneer in using feedback, distortion, and effects pedals, sculpting new textures and tones that no one had ever imagined. His approach was experimental and fearless, often treating the studio as a laboratory for innovation. Every note he played seemed to break new ground, inspiring countless musicians to experiment and find their own voices. He was a true innovator, an artist who redefined what was possible with 6 strings and an amplifier. Hendrix's solos were more than just technical displays, they were emotional journeys filled with passion and intensity. He made the guitar sing, scream, and weep, creating a language all his own. His stage presence was magnetic, and his creativity seemed limitless. His influence can be felt across countless genres, from rock and metal to funk and jazz. Musicians from every corner of the world have drawn inspiration from his groundbreaking work, adapting his techniques and spirit into their own music. Hendrix's fingerprints are everywhere, shaping the sound of modern music in ways both obvious and subtle. Hendrix's music was more than just sound, it was a reflection of the turbulent times. The late 1960s were marked by social upheaval, political unrest, and a hunger for change, and his songs captured the spirit of rebellion and hope that defined a generation. His performances became anthems for those seeking freedom and self-expression. He gave a voice to a generation grappling with social change and the Vietnam War. Through his music, Hendrix addressed the anxieties and dreams of young people everywhere, channeling their frustrations and aspirations into powerful, unforgettable songs. Songs like Machine Gun were raw, emotional protests against the horrors of conflict. Hendrix's guitar became a weapon of peace, expressing the pain and chaos of war in a way that words alone never could. His music resonated deeply with those who longed for an end to violence. He wasn't afraid to use his platform to speak out against injustice, cementing his status as a counterculture icon. Hendrix stood for more than just music. He stood for freedom, equality, and the power of art to challenge the status quo. Even though his time in the spotlight was brief, his legacy continues to inspire musicians and music lovers alike. Decades after his passing, Jimi Hendrix's revolutionary spirit lives on, reminding us all that music can change the world, one electrifying note at a time. The summer of 1970 was a whirlwind for Hendrix. He was exhausted from relentless touring and recording. The pressure was mounting. He was working on new material, always pushing his creative boundaries. But behind the electrifying performances, there were signs of strain. Those closest to him noticed a change. He seemed withdrawn, burdened. In September, Hendrix arrived in London. He was there to play a festival and work on his new album. On September 17th, he spent the day with his girlfriend, Monica Dannemann. They went for a drive, visited friends, and returned to her apartment. Accounts of what happened next are hazy, shrouded in conflicting statements. What we do know is that sometime during the night, Hendrix became violently ill. Dannemann called for an ambulance, but it was just too late. Hendrix was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. The official verdict was asphyxiation. Hendrix, they claimed, had choked on his vomit after a night of drinking and taking sleeping pills. But, many questions remain. Witnesses gave conflicting accounts of the events leading up to his death. Some allege that Hendrix had taken amphetamines, not barbiturates. Others suggest he had consumed far more wine than initially reported. Then there's the curious case of the 9 missing hours. A significant gap exists in the timeline of Hendrix's final hours. What happened during that time? Who was he with? These unanswered questions have fueled conspiracy theories for decades. Some believe foul play was involved, pointing fingers at his manager or others who may have benefited from his death. The truth, however, remains elusive. Jimi Hendrix's life was a paradox, a mixture of dazzling brilliance and unsettling tragedy. From his earliest days, he seemed destined to stand apart, a visionary whose music would change the world. Yet beneath the surface of his electrifying performances and iconic style, there was a man grappling with inner turmoil and the pressures of sudden fame. He was a musical genius who redefined the possibilities of the guitar, blending blues, rock, and psychedelia into a sound that was entirely his own. Hendrix's performances were more than concerts, they were transcendent experiences, leaving audiences in awe. Yet, his life was cut short before he could fully realize his potential, leaving fans and fellow musicians to wonder what more he could have achieved. The mystery surrounding his death only adds to the enigma that is Jimi Hendrix. News of his passing sent shockwaves around the globe, and the world mourned the loss of a true original. Rumors and speculation swirled, fueling a sense of intrigue that has never truly faded. Was it a tragic accident, a consequence of rock and roll excess, or something more sinister? The circumstances remain clouded in uncertainty, with theories ranging from misadventure to foul play. Each new detail only deepens the sense of mystery, making the truth feel just out of reach. We may never know for sure. The unanswered questions linger, haunting those who seek closure. His story is a puzzle with missing pieces, a case that remains open in the hearts and minds of his admirers. But perhaps that's part of what makes him so fascinating. The legend of Jimi Hendrix is not just about his music, but about the aura of mystery that surrounds him. Fans from all walks of life continue to honor his memory, drawn to the magic and the unanswered questions he left behind. He was a shooting star, burning brightly for a brief time but leaving an unforgettable mark on the universe. Like a comet blazing across the sky, his brilliance was impossible to ignore, even if it was fleeting. His music continues to resonate with generations, a testament to his enduring power and influence. New artists find inspiration in his work, and listeners young and old discover something new each time they hear his songs. The spirit of Hendrix lives on in every note, every riff, every bold experiment. Jimi Hendrix may be gone, but his legend and the mystery surrounding his final moments will continue to captivate us for years to come. His story is a reminder that some stars never truly fade, they simply become part of the fabric of our collective imagination.